We back in the dungeon. So, what was this? What's this story that you said you needed to get off
So,
your chest?
well, it's nothing like that. It was more so, it was just funny. So let me start off by asking you this question: age gaps within dating.
Oh Lord.
What is the highest and the lowest you will go at your age right now?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You're 36, 37.
37.
Okay.
Um, I mean, hell, I mean, you look at that. My most recent relationship. I mean, she was 8 years younger. Um, that's probably the biggest age gap that I've ever personally had is that one.
Hmm.
Uh, Going in the other direction. Well, yeah, I mean that was a pretty big one. When I was in Colorado, um, I was messing around with a chick. She was 39,
Mm.
and I think I was what, like 20, 21.
Mm.
Yeah, 21. So yeah, I mean that's the biggest one that I've ever done in that direction where I was the younger of the two. But I mean, it to me honestly, like in my age, it's like you're in that kind of sweet spot because when you're in your 30s, you can date girls in your 20s if you want to, but you can also date women in their 40s, or you can stick to women in their 30s. Like you got like a wider spectrum there that you can, you know,
Okay. Okay.
it's like you can go younger if you want to, if you want to deal with that, or you can go older. You know, I think it really just all depends on the person,
Okay. Yeah.
because you can get you a young one that's immature, and then that shit's not gonna go too well, or you can get you an old one that's like on some old lady shit, and then that ain't gonna go too well. So I
Yeah.
mean,
So it's like you got to
you,
find an in between.
right, you just gotta find the right person.
Yeah, that's right. So, uh, me and some friends, we were out last Saturday. My homie's wife, she was telling me, I know you're single and all that. You interested in talking to my friend? I'm like,
Uh
I'm like, I tell her, for
oh.
one, me being Jehovah's Witness, I just prefer to stick within my religion. Just makes things easier. And she's like, understandable, understandable. I was gonna ask. I have a friend. Her name is Jackie. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, because she was coming to join us when we were out. I was like, yeah, I look forward to meeting her though. Yeah, seems pretty cool. She
No.
tells me the thing is, she's 38. I'm like, for the listeners, I'll be 27 in November. So yeah, you kind of see where I'm at. I'm like, you're trying to set me up with a 38-year-old.
What's wrong with that?
I'll get to that. I'll get to that. So her friend arrives.
Right.
Shout out to her friend because your boy was very ashy, and she was my savior that day. She brought me some lotion. It was a
Oh
struggle.
no.
It was a
Oh
struggle.
no.
It was a struggle. Look, bro. Look, I can't get caught slipping, man. My hands is all ashy. I'm like,
Oh no, no.
uh. Can't be
Oh
doing that, bro.
no,
Hey, look,
no.
can't get caught slipping, man.
Look like you did get caught.
Hey, nah, nah,
She
nah.
bought you some lotion.
Hey, look, I can't get caught slipping by my ops. You feel me? No,
Damn,
but
man. Hell no.
so first time I see this woman, let me tell you, gorgeous. Let me tell you.
Okay.
And here's the funny part. I look at my homegirl. I'm like, you're lying to me. She's like, what? I'm like, there is no way that woman is 38. There is no way. She swore down to me she was 38. I had to start asking
Check
her
her
friend.
ID.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to see. There's no way. She shows me her ID. Yeah, she was 38, but I'm like, how are you that age and look that good? Like she was like, how old did you think I was? I'm like, I would have said like maybe 32, 33. Like,
I mean, some of us is like
oh
that,
yeah,
bro.
oh yeah, that's very true. That's very
Yeah,
true. Yeah, let me tell you, I told her, I ain't gonna lie, if I was a little older, yeah, I probably would have tried.
why not do it now?
Nah.
Hey man, she might be able to part some life wisdom on you. You
Mm,
might be better off for it.
yeah, I can't do that, buddy.
Why
I
not?
say this.
You
When it
bugging.
comes to age, hey, look, I'll put you on. You know, you freshly single.
Hey man, oh, there ain't nothing wrong with older women.
Eh,
I'll tell you if
I'm
that.
not saying there is. It's just for me, my age gap is 5 years older, and me being 27, the lowest
Yeah,
I would
you
go is
can't
like
you
23.
yeah. I'm about to say at your age you can't go but solo.
Exactly. The lowest I will go is 23.
You go 10 years, you going to jail.
I definitely would not go
Hell,
10
yeah, you going to
years.
jail.
Yeah, that's 25 to life. Easy.
That's why it's like you said in your 30s, man. It's that sweet spot
Oh,
because
yeah, it is. It is.
you can go 10 years
That's all I
younger and
say.
you good.
Older, 5 years. Younger, 3 years. That's about it. Or excuse me, 4 years. Well, since I'll be 27, 4 years. Yeah, but it's like I look at it from the perspective of like her being 38, me being about to be 27. I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, how are we gonna like build a connection with that age gap?
What do you mean? Bro, like, okay, prime example. Me and my ex,
Oh, okay.
we were 8 years apart, or are 8 years apart. We came from very different
Yeah,
backgrounds,
oh yeah, y'all
but
did.
we still had like a lot of shit in common.
That's fair.
So I mean, you don't have to grow up the same way in order
I
to
I
have shit in
get
common.
that.
Like it'll be easier to have a conversation with her than you think. Trust
Fair
me.
enough. Fair enough.
Trust
Fair
me.
enough.
Because she was alive before you was born and she was alive while you were coming up. So she's seen everything that you didn't see. So I mean, it won't be as hard to have a conversation with her as you think.
That's fair. That's fair. Still though, hey, look, I will say this. That woman was, hey, that woman was beautiful. Hey, look, whatever she doing, hey, hey, I don't knock it one bit. It just,
What she look like? Was
oh,
she?
oh she was Latina.
Oh, that's why. Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Come
yeah,
on,
because
man.
I said, well, I mean, black don't crack, so obviously,
Nah, but these Latinas is out here on a
oh
different
yeah, they
level,
will.
boy.
They mad different these
Listen,
days.
out here, you'll be finding these Latinas. They be like 40. They got about 7 kids, and they still fine as hell. And it's just like, how the hell did that? How did you do that?
Exactly.
You spit out all of them kids, and you still look that good. It's just like, come on now, like. And we ain't talking about no BBLs and none of that
Oh
shit.
yeah.
We talking like all natural, and
Oh
they
yeah.
still be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck they got,
It's crazy.
what they drinking in the morning when they get up or whatever the fuck it is. But nigga, I don't know. It's beyond me.
Yeah.
I see it every day.
Nah, I just thought it was funny because I'm like, man, Eddie gonna get a good laugh out of this.
Oh man, come on, dog. Like you over here on that Gucci Mane shit. Fumbled the bag, bro.
Hey, look, I fumbled many bags so far in my life. I could fumble a couple more.
You closing in on 30, bro. You don't need to be fumbling shit right
I
now.
know. Hey, look, it is what it is, man. Hey, look, like I said, stuff out here.
What do you mean? Your homegirl pretty much handed her to you on a silver
Yeah, but I
platter.
can't do that, man. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Well, no, it's not even about the age gap. It's just the fact of me being religious.
Man, you better suck it up.
Yeah, I can't do that, buddy.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Hey, look. Hey, look.
I mean, I understand the religious thing. I mean, it is what it
Now,
is.
if she want to convert, that's a different stuff. No.
But this nigga,
Yeah.
we gonna have her ass on that salami, eggs, and bacon, huh?
I, I'm not Muslim, my boy.
Man, you look like one with that damn beard and that bald ass head out here looking like Freeway, the mini version. And yes, that nigga's a Muslim.
Yes, I know he's a Muslim. Come on now. Hey, look, man. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Oh, whoa, a pimp. Okay,
Nah, I'm just playing,
okay.
man. Oh, man. Yeah, so, what's up, man? Something about this cat that pissed you off in the Honda group.
Oh man, it wasn't so much that he pissed me off. It was more of the ignorance.
Okay.
So
Story time.
we like the overseas
Mm-hmm.
they have
The K series?
the EP3
Oh,
like
okay,
mine,
okay.
but the Type R version.
Yeah, yeah.
So the EP3 Type R is actually built in Europe. The
Hmm.
EP3 period is made in Europe.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. So in Europe, the Type R, the Euro spec Type R actually comes with a K20A2, which is the motor that we get here in the RSX Type S.
But I would assume theirs isn't really downgraded. Or is it pretty much exactly the same?
Well, the motor is
Yeah.
basically the same.
Okay. Not sure. Because, I only ask because how we technically have how we had the faster A80 Supras compared to Japan because of the gentleman's agreement. That's why I asked.
Oh, that gentleman's agreement is bullshit.
It is.
The car makes the same power as what
Mhm.
ours makes, but they just say that it doesn't. Like,
Yeah.
because they bought a Skyline over here and tested it, and it actually made like around 330 horsepower, and they were just kind of like, "What was this 276 shit?" Like,
Exactly.
yeah, so they just be
Oh, yeah.
saying this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Euro spec Type R has a K20A2.
Okay.
So this guy here, I think he's he's on the page. He's in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and in Canada, the EP3 is called the SIR. Here it's called the SI, but it's the same exact car.
Yeah.
So it's got that watered down ass K20A3 bullshit in it, and it's single VTEC on one cam, not the other. Only makes 160 horsepower. That trash ass shit. So he has a K20A2 swap in his car, and he's like, yeah, it's like a proper Type R. So this kid gets up here and he's like, oh, it's not a proper Type R. If you want a Type R, you need to get a proper JDM Type R because the JDM Type R is the only real Type R and da 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 da. And it's just like, you do know that the Euro spec Type R came with the K20A2 in it, right? And not to mention the car is made in fucking Europe. So what was this proper JDM shit that you're talking about? You sound dumb. Well, the JDM spec Type R is this, that, and this, and it's got the K20A and blah, 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 blah. Understand that. Yes, the JDM spec Type R is different than the Euro spec and the bullshit that we get here, which is why mine has a swap in it because the engine is bullshit. So I digress. But the JDM car is different. It has a different motor in it. This is the JDM K20A. It's got slightly more power.
Mm-hmm.
The gearing is different.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the same car. So it's like, what the fuck do you mean proper JDM? It's like the car wasn't even made in Japan. It's made in Europe. So why is the Euro spec car not a proper Type R considering the car is built in fucking Europe? I'm like, that you sound ignorant. Well, you get you don't understand the specifications of this and that. Motherfucker, how old are you? When did you start getting into Hondas? It's like I've probably known more about Hondas and forgot more than you even know. Like I've probably been doing this longer than you've been alive. Not literally, obviously, because the kid said he was 23. So, I mean, not since he's been alive, but close a damn enough. No, actually, he might. No, no,
No,
not since he's been alive. But you know, it's been,
yeah,
it's been,
I
yeah.
get what you're saying.
So
I get
I'm
what
like,
you're
you
saying.
know, what are you saying? What are you saying? Then he's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, he started naming off about all the if you want a real Type R, you have to buy a proper. He kept using the term proper JDM Type R, and he's like the FN2 is not a proper Type R, and um the FK8 isn't even a proper Type R because it's not built in Japan. It's that because the FK8 was also built in Europe. So basically, any Type R that's not built in
It's
Japan is
not
not
proper.
considered a proper Type R. And I'm just like, you
So
sound dumb.
here's my problem with that. Like, for one, because we've talked about this in the past, like the whole difference of being like a car guy that's your age versus like kind of, I guess I could say my age slash,
Mm,
but mainly younger. Like the guys younger than me are almost like the type that just talk like get into these conversations just to fit in,
uh,
and that's what gets mad annoying to me because it's like, well, both sides get annoying to me. For example, I, everybody knows I'm a big rotary nerd, so
mm,
like I pretty much sat there and just studied. That's the one engine I could actually truly tell you about, like tell you many things about.
right.
I hate when I get older cats that try to talk down to me like I don't know the same exact stuff they do just because they've been around longer. Like, bro, we both got to read the same stuff. Like the information's out there.
Oh no, I mean I say that to say it's just like you're trying to sit here and tell me that I don't know the
Yeah,
specifications of the Type R when I probably know every specification about every generation of
exactly.
Type R
And
because I am a Honda guy.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And you know that's kind of my point. Like, bro, like I was saying, all the information is there.
yeah,
So
but don't talk shit if you don't know it.
exactly, and
You
that's
know,
my point exactly.
right?
Like, bro, if you truly don't know, just admit you
Yeah,
don't
just
know
shut the fuck up.
and
You don't
just
know.
sit down and learn. Like, it's okay to not know something.
Like when he brought up the FK8 not being a proper Type R,
That's
I'm
stupid.
like, bro, you do know that the Type R is sold here, Japan, Europe, and everywhere else, and it's the same goddamn car
Exactly.
everywhere.
Like, heck, what the FK8 was the first Type R we got in the states in how long, right?
Since the Integra, since
Exactly,
2001.
exactly. So it's like, bro, and they literally had to fight just to even get one here.
I was like, and the FK8 is a world market car. Like it's
Exactly.
literally the same all over the world. It's not
Yeah.
like the previous generations where the JDM spec cars were different. Like, okay, Integra, the one that we actually got,
Mm-hmm.
the JDM spec cars are different than ours. The Euro spec cars are different than
Mm-hmm.
the JDM one. You know, so it's the JDM cars were always better.
Yeah.
The creme de la creme always was in Japan. The EP3, the drive line in that car is slightly different. So it's better because it's quicker. The DC5R was only in Japan and Europe. We didn't even get that. We got the RSX Type S, which was close but not quite. Then you get into the 8th gen Civic Si, which is about as close to the Civic Type R FD2 as you can get,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still not quite there yet. And that FD2 Type R was a JDM market car only.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the new FL5 that just came out. Those cars are actually made in Japan, but it's a fucking world market
Yeah.
car.
So
It's
they're
the
all gonna be
same
the same.
everywhere.
Well, crazy enough, too. Like, I was talking with somebody because I've been looking at RX-7s a lot lately, and they were like, "Why do you gotta get a right hand drive one?" I'm like, "Because they stopped making them stateside in '95."
Yeah,
Not a lot of people know that because
I thought everybody knew that.
yeah, not a lot of people do, surprisingly. And I was telling them like there are certain things within cars like it's a rare case where not all the information is out there for everybody to see. That's a rare case nowadays because it's like even with importing, how we've talked about it.
Mhm.
And I told you, if all the information that is available now was available back then, like almost anybody could import a car.
It was a lot easier to get them in back then.
Exactly, but you had to really know how to do it versus now, yeah, everybody knows how to do it, but do you have the connections now? Slash, it's more expensive now.
It's more expensive now, and it's harder now
Exactly.
because it's not only harder because of the know-how being out there,
Mm-hmm.
but because
You know, all the laws and all
all
that.
of the laws and the fact that it's there's so many people doing it that
Exactly.
it's just like now it's harder to find the shit that you want.
Oh, yeah.
You know, back then you could get like I remember in the dark ages as we like to call it, fuck what in the early 2000s like you could buy like a fucking R32 GTR for like 20 grand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's possibly even cheaper
Sometimes
sometimes.
cheaper than
Yeah.
that, yeah. And I mean you could get anything you wanted. I mean even in the mid 2000s like you could
Mm-hmm.
get shit cheap. There was a like living in Colorado at the time in the
Oh,
mid
yeah.
2000s like there was a lot of JDM cars in
Mm-hmm.
Colorado that a lot of people didn't know. Like we used to go to the meets in Denver,
Oh, yeah.
and there was a Skyline group that used to come to the meets in Denver.
Mm.
And we're talking a real group, 32s, 33s, 34s, all of that shit. And it's
Yep.
just like, how the hell did you get that here? Yeah, it's just because at the time you didn't see 34s like that.
Oh, yeah.
And there was like four of them in the group,
Oh, yeah.
and they were all military guys. And
No,
it's
that's mainly it.
and I'm
Like,
just like, yeah, but
yeah,
being a military guy, I'm like, how the hell did you slip
exactly.
that
Just
in?
you didn't know at the
You know, I'm
time.
like, how did you slip that in? Because basically, how they do it overseas is when you want to bring a car back, they have a list
Mm-hmm.
of shit that you can bring and shit that you can't bring.
Yep.
That 34 was on the shit that you can't bring, but people still was able to get it
Mm-hmm.
in here. And I'm just like, who the hell did you know that you were able to get that?
Oh yeah.
And they would just laugh, be like, oh, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. Like, nah, nigga, you just
Well,
being greedy
even then, I've been talking with
now.
one of the younger homies at work because he's like straddling the fence on if he wants to get into cars, like we're into cars,
Nah,
and I've been sending him like cheap cars. Like I've sent him like Hondas that are already like pretty well built to the point it's like you're just adding on to it.
right.
And he's like, oh, I kind of just want some newer. Like I want that GR86. And I'm like,
So get one.
but of course, oh, it's too expensive though. I'm like, so just get a Honda. And
So, so
he's like, oh, I don't want to work on it. I'm like,
I
then
mean,
why are you trying to get a car? Like he told
if
me, I
you
want to
want,
get a car that looks good and goes zoom zoom. Let me tell
oh,
you,
nigga, no,
this nigga
no,
sent
no,
me
no,
a
no, no,
Mazda
no,
3,
no.
but the sedan version, it was like, oh, I could put a turbo in it. I'm like, why would you do that with
Why
that?
don't you just buy a Mazda Speed 3 that's already
Exactly.
turboed?
Ex- That's I've
And
been
it's
trying,
probably going to be not that expensive.
and I've been trying to explain to him like, bro, for one, if you get an older car, you're gonna have to put work into it.
I mean, that's part of the fun.
Exactly. So
Especially if you don't know shit about cars, that's the best thing for you to
exactly,
learn
that's how
on
you
is something
learn.
older.
Oh yeah,
And I mean, if he wants a GR86, then why don't you just tell him to get
an older
yeah,
FRS.
FRS or
That's what I
something?
told
I'm
him.
just like, it's the same shit.
Oh, I sent him one. One of the homies in the AZ86 group, he's selling an automatic one. I'm like, look, bro, like you can't drive sticks, so that's perfect for you.
Oh, first off, if you get in the car and you can't drive a stick, that's a problem for me.
Hey, look,
That is a problem for me. It's like
uh,
if you want to get into fucking sports cars or what did your boys say something that goes zoom zoom, why would you want to drive an automatic? That just kind of defeats the purpose.
it like PDK is the best. Like I'll settle for. But it's like, no, I do
I mean,
agree.
Nick, that's like a whole different level of car.
Exactly. But I do agree for the most part. It's
Niggas ain't
like,
affording no PDK shit.
Oh yeah. But I agree for the most part. It's like you're trying to get into sports cars, like you got to heck, even if you're trying because I get into it all the time with like the younger kids that are trained to be techs.
Mm.
First thing I ask them, can you drive a stick shift? No. Then how are you gonna work on a car?
I mean, I just think that it's funny how this generation is just like no one knows how to drive a stick anymore. It was like when I was coming up, it was like all of us wanted to know. If we didn't know how already, we wanted to know how to drive a
Exactly.
stick. Now it's like no one cares. Nobody wants to know
And
about
crazy
driving a
enough,
stick.
them stick shifts are the funnest cars to drive.
Right. It's like no one even everyone's just kind of like, nah, I just want the automatic. And it's like being that I'm into the V8 community as well. It's like a lot of the guys in the V8 community, they drive automatics.
Oh yeah.
Like there isn't really a lot of them that drive
Oh
stick
yeah.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Mustang crowd, man. When they came out with that 10 speed, it's like that's all everybody wants
Well,
now.
plus also most of them drag race.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of does because if you're drag racing,
No, I mean I'm talking about dudes on the street, bro. Like they drive their shit on the
oh
street.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying
Like
for the ones that
why?
do drag race, of course they're not going to get a stick
Well,
shift.
you gonna take it to the track? That's different. Like these people drive their shit on the street
Oh
every day.
yeah.
Like,
But even they have these cats in these. I wouldn't trust them to drive a stick shift.
nah,
Oh, a lot of them can't drive to begin with.
that's fair.
Well, the younger guys can't.
Hey, these young dudes is on a different level, man.
Yeah.
They
Well, I
different
will
level of
say
fuckery.
it's a difference in the generations with car guys because it's like,
I mean, we did our wild shit back in the
oh
day when
yeah,
we was teenagers, but
everybody does.
it was our fuckery was a little more controlled. You know,
Yeah,
it was like we
hmm,
were a little smarter about where we did it, and
yeah,
we weren't like these cats out here now. Dude,
wherever.
there is so many car accidents out here, and they're like
Hmm.
bad car accidents because people want to race through traffic and oh, we gonna race. Oh shit, that light's about to turn red. Fuck it, let's keep going and cause a big ass. And it's like that. We didn't do shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Like that. That's we ain't trying to draw that much attention to ourselves.
Hmm. It's like even the whole takeover thing right now is just it's so dumb to me because I'm like, what are
I
you
thought that shit was
proving?
gonna die out by now,
Oh
man.
yeah,
I
but
didn't think they would still be doing
you
that
know,
shit
I
to us.
remember I had a kid trying to defend it to me, and I'm like, bro, like y'all aren't really proving that you know how to drive your car because anybody can go do that.
I mean, I remember when that shit first started really taking over out here. Like we were at a quick trip, right? We
Hmm.
had just left one of the race spots. And this guy pulls up and was like, "Hey man, we about to do a highway takeover." This was in like 2019, and he's just like, "Y'all down?" Me and my boys was like, "A what?" It's like a highway takeover. What the fuck y'all about to do? Go race? Like, cause yeah, I'm down for some rolls. Oh no, nah. What we do is we get a group of guys, we shut the highway off, and then we just do donuts in the middle of the freeway. And I was just like, that sounds like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I was like, why would you do that? Well, because it's fun. How is it fun? You do know that there's cameras in those lights in the middle of the the lights on the freeway.
Hmm.
They got cameras in those
Oh
motherfuckers. So these dumbasses go out and do the takeover, right?
yeah. All of a sudden,
One of
whoop whoop.
oh no, they didn't get them on the freeway. They showed up at these motherfuckers' houses.
I'm not surprised.
One of our guys that was at the takeover said a cop showed up at his crib at like 5 o'clock in the morning with a ticket.
Yep.
Talking about some, oh yeah, we got you on camera, and your license plate was one of the ones that we were able to catch. And I'm just like, see, y'all motherfuckers be out here doing the most. It's just like,
Exactly.
what do you expect? And then it just got worse and worse.
Oh yeah.
And then when COVID hit, oh my God, that
No,
was that was when it really would
I'll
get
just
bad.
really look at it like, bro, like you're just doing donuts. Like anybody can do that,
Now,
bro.
some people like, okay, when they do the takeovers down in Tempe Town Lake, those guys actually be coming drifting, like on the I guess that's the north side of the lake.
Okay.
like not the one
I
with
know
the
where you're
the
talking
park,
about.
but the one on the other
Uh
side
huh.
with the parking lot, and they got
Yeah.
like the road that comes
Yeah, I
down.
know where you're talking about.
They come down that road hauling ass, and they like drift around the corner and go up and around and come back. And some of those guys do know how to drive. I give them
Exactly.
that. But I mean,
But it's like I always say this: like if you're doing it sort of controlled chaos, like you said, where hey, there's nobody around, like
oh yeah, we used to
yeah, like I
drift
don't
and
care
donut in
about that,
parking lots
bro.
when it was no one there but
Yeah, I
us.
don't care about that. It's just when you start doing it when like there's heavy traffic and there's people like walking around, like bro, like you're gonna kill somebody because
Oh
I know
yeah,
half of y'all can't even control that Mustang or Camaro you just bought or them scatties. Like so that's where I say I don't like that. But
shit. Most
it's
of
like yeah,
the
controlled chaos. I mean, let's be real here. That's how you know the whole streetcar scene started. Like we're not gonna sit over here in front and act like hey we didn't do any of that.
oh no, yeah, we definitely did. I mean, what do you like? What do you think street racing is?
Exactly.
It's just like when Fast and the Furious came out.
Oh yeah, everybody
I
wanted to be in the
was
cars.
yeah. I mean, and it was like I was like in that perfect generation
Oh yeah.
because Fast and the Furious came out my freshman year in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and most of us were like about to get our learner's permit at the time when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was already into cars even before the movie came out
Oh yeah.
because I had a couple of homeboys that were older than me and they drove already and they were into cars. So I used to hang out with them and go out to little street races and hang out with them and stuff like that. And then when Fast and the Furious came out, like you said, everybody wanted to be in the cars then. So the street scene got way bigger because
Mm-hmm.
now all of the guys in my generation or in my age group that were getting our licenses, we wanted to get into it. So now all of us were coming up, all of the high school kids. Because most of the friends that I had when I was like ninth grade that were into cars and racing, they were all like juniors and seniors, they were about done. So, we were the next wave.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, it was crazy.
Oh
For
yeah.
I mean, all through high school, we were doing that shit. It was like all 4 years of high school, I can remember being at car meets and going to street races and things of that nature. And it's just like no one,
But
no, it wasn't as. I won't say that it wasn't as big because it was obviously because of the movie, but
yeah.
in real life,
Mm-hmm.
it was like we were still able to go to spots and race, and we could be out there all fucking night, and it's like nobody would bother us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, did the cops bust us sometimes? Absolutely, but
Oh yeah.
there was a lot of times that we would get away with it, and we would be out there all night. Like it just would depend on what spot we would go to,
Oh
and if
yeah.
somebody would see us or not.
Well, I will say though, the thing I kind of get tired of with it in the car community is just the like unnecessary judgment.
Of what?
So I'll put it to you this way: back when I had my FRS,
Mm.
I didn't build it because everything I wanted to do had already been done. I didn't want to copy anybody. B I actually liked that car stock. Like it was actually just a fun car to drive, and also it being a boxer, I didn't really want to get into it fully. Yeah, because at that time I didn't fully know what I was doing. On top of that, it's like
It's a boxer.
yeah,
Those things are not the easiest. For those of y'all who never worked on a boxer engine, those things are a bitch.
oh yeah,
Like it's just no nice way to say it. Those things are not the easiest things to work on,
oh yeah. So
especially if you don't know anything about it.
let
Like,
me tell you, this idiot that I worked with when I worked for Carvana.
oh god,
Yeah. She tried to tell me, you're not a real car enthusiast. You never built your car. I'm like, bruh, I know more about cars than you do. What are you talking about?
I think there's a fine line between being a car enthusiast and actually being like a car guy, like a gearhead.
Explain.
You know, it's like because car enthusiasts, I mean, you can be into cars and like cars and know a lot about cars, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're a gearhead.
Okay.
You know, like if you're a gearhead, that means you like actually work on your shit and you know the mechanics of things and you know
Okay.
how to take shit apart, put it back
Oh
together,
yeah.
that kind of shit. You have more technical knowledge as a gearhead.
Okay.
As
I
a
can
car
respect that.
enthusiast, it's like you just know a lot about cars. So it's like basically you want some you can read the brochure type shit,
Yeah.
but you're just but
No
you're but
pun intended.
right. You can read the brochure type shit. Like
uh,
the statistics, the figures, the numbers, and like what's great about the car, what's
oh
not great
yeah.
about the car. But you don't know necessarily like, okay, if I want to get like 500 wheel out of this thing, how would I go about doing that?
Yeah.
That's not so much car
That's
enthusiast. That's more
gearhead.
gearhead shit.
It was funny because so after she said that, I'm like, you know what? Come with me. We're gonna go talk with somebody. So my homie Melvin, he's cool with Levi that owns
Oh yeah, yeah.
Blackbird.
Uh huh.
Well, both of them. So he worked with me at the time, and so I asked him, I'm like, all right, hey Mel, would you say I am or am not a car enthusiast? And he's like, why would you not be a car enthusiast? I'm like, ask her. She tells her because he's never built his car, and I'm like, he tells her he's just a purist. Like he just likes the car how it is. Like he likes the mechanics of it being stock. So what's wrong with that? And he had to explain to her, like, for one, his car knowledge is actually pretty good, especially for how young he is. But at the same time, it's like you look at a lot of people that are involved in the car world. There's a lot that actually don't like to build certain cars because they just like how it was built from factory. So they'll just leave it sometimes.
Well, when it comes to JDM cars, it's a little bit different
That's very true.
because
Mm-hmm.
most four-cylinder JDM cars are, let's be honest, they don't really have
Yeah,
a
they're
lot of power.
underpowered. Yeah, yeah.
So when we buy these cars, that's like the first thing that we want to do is
Oh
make it
yeah.
faster.
I felt like though the 86, like the newer ones, it's that perfect starter sports car, basically for you to learn on. And then once you kind of get to that point where it's like, okay, I need to either upgrade it or get something faster, you can do that. But in terms of like your starter sports car, because you look at that price, that's a good price point for it. For newer cars, let me say that again.
Yeah,
For newer cars,
right.
it's the perfect starter car.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you can find one that hasn't been fucking
molested.
marked up like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy right now how much they're marked up. Because truth be told, I kind of somewhat wish I didn't sell mine. But at the same time,
Oh,
it's
you
like,
talking about the FRS?
mm-hmm.
Okay, because I thought you were talking about a new one being the price
Well,
point.
I just call it 86 because yeah, it's the same thing.
No, it's because the new one. I mean,
The new one is like
it's supposed to be a,
30K
it's yeah,
s.
but it's
Well, even then, when
even with the markup,
my
I've seen
my
them for
year
like
was like
40.
my year was like 30K too, like 28 to 30K when
What
they were first coming out.
what year is yours?
Mine was 15.
So was yours was the GT86?
Yeah, well, the FRS technically
Because
because I had the Scion.
okay, see, because my homeboy got the Scion like when it
Mm-hmm.
first came out, and he only paid like 25 for his
Yeah. Was it brand new?
brand new, yeah.
Interesting.
Now the BRZ on the other
Yeah,
hand,
that was
that one
the
was the one that was
which
28.
which is kind of dumb too because it's the exact same
But it's the
car, but
exact same shit.
it was
They
just
did
it's Subaru.
the interior. They have
It
like
was a little nicer and
the
push button
interior,
start. Mm-hmm.
right? Because my boy Zach, shout out to my man's. He actually had one
Yeah.
when it came out. He bought had a BRZ, and I can't remember who else had one. There was somebody else that I knew that had one. I can't remember who it was,
Yeah,
but they had a BRZ as well. And
because
the BRZ was the one that was the most expensive, and that
mm-hmm,
one was like 28 grand. But you could get a because you remember back in the day, Scion had that no haggle price bullshit, and
yeah,
their thing they were priced at like
yeah.
25 grand,
Mm-hmm.
and I even considered one for a minute. I'm not even gonna
I
lie
mean,
to you. I
they're
kind of
cool.
wanted one.
Yeah, they're definitely cool. I mean, I will say, I consider it the modern day.
240.
Yeah, exactly, because
Yeah, it's more like a
everybody
240.
makes parts for it. Like they're great handling cars.
The only thing that I didn't like about them is the damn boxer engine.
Hmm.
That's the only
Well, I
thing I
will
didn't like
say,
about it.
like that FA20 was actually probably one of the more reliable boxer engines in quite a long time.
Yeah, okay. The FA20 wasn't as bad as the EJs,
Exactly.
but they
Again,
you know
boxer.
there's still a pain in the ass to
Yeah.
work on.
Hmm.
And when it comes to modification, those things don't really they don't give you a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, very true.
It's just
Oh
like
yeah, if you tried to make more power out of it, you were better off just swapping out the engine.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because even with the newer ones, like
even if you boosted one, I mean, you could get like a solid 350
yeah,
reliably.
yeah.
But anything more than
Oh
like
yeah, you were
350
pushing
to
it, like you
400,
were
you
threading the
yeah,
needle.
yeah.
Because even I'll consider the newer ones. I do love that new body style on them. But it's just the fact
I
of
like the way the new ones look. I think they
yeah,
look really
and
good.
I just look at it from the perspective of like I've been there and done that already. And it's like I need to get some, you know, that can make good power slash just overall kind of fits what I'm looking for. And that's why I keep reverting back to FDs because, you know, we're going to get to a point where I might not ever be able to get one if I don't get one sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So it's like, yeah, I'm really considering it now because the Forest, sadly, I gotta wait till I'm like your age to get a Forest.
Shit, even when you my age, that shit is still like goddamn.
I
Like,
know.
because the prices on them just keep going up.
Hmm.
Like when I was your
Oh
age,
yeah, I found a
uh,
turbo one out here in Scottsdale. It's a turbo, but it's an automatic. They want 84.
shit, when I was your age, I could have bought a Porsche at your age
I know, right? Crazy.
because they were cheaper back then.
Hmm.
It was just like I could have got a 996 turbo with the was it the X50 package?
Mm.
I could have got one of those for like 50, like 40, 50. Now that same car is like 80
Yep.
and going up.
Hmm.
I'm just like, fuck, like I should have bought a Porsche back then when it was cheap.
I'm always gonna regret the 997 GT3 I did not buy when it was wholesale at Carvana.
You could get a 997 turbo for less than 100K used,
Yeah.
like about what 10 years ago.
Hmm.
You can't do that shit now.
Oh yeah.
That's like those things shot that fuck up in value in the last couple of years. I'm just like, man,
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Eh, it is what it is, though.
should look at the 993s.
Oh yeah, bro. Don't even remind me.
Those man,
Don't
I
even
that
remind
was
me.
my shit, man.
Don't even remind
I
me.
wanted a 993, and when I was shit, probably about your age, maybe a little bit younger. Um, one of my neighbors, he lived in the building I lived in because we was in Northern Virginia at the time, so everybody lives in apartments there.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived in this high rise, and one of the guys that lived in the building had I used to see him in the parking garage a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 993 turbo, black,
Mm.
beautiful car, and I was just like, damn, that thing is nice. And I started looking for one myself,
Mm-hmm.
and they were cheap back then, bro. You could get a 993 turbo. This was in probably what, like 2000, 2012, 2013. You could get a fucking 993 turbo for like 60 grand, 50 grand. And we talking one that's in like pristine condition. Now that same car is like 120 easy. And I'm just like, shit, I'm paying 120 grand. I might as well just buy a new one. It's like, shit, a brand new 911 turbo was what, like 200? About 200, 220, somewhere around there. But the car runs like high 9 second quarter miles acceleration wise. I
Yeah,
mean, it is still out handles anything.
yeah.
So,
I'll tell you that whole quarter miles. I can care less
oh
about that.
man, I don't. I'm
Care
talking
about
about.
how it take them turns, buddy. That's all I care
It's a
about.
goddamn Porsche turbo
Exactly.
that's all wheel drive. It handles,
Exactly. So
but it's
that's all
got
I
the
care about.
acceleration too, though.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I'll take it.
Yep.
It's like if I wanna be an asshole and I'm sitting at the stoplight and somebody don't want to let me over, they not gonna out accelerate me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get around whoever the fuck I want to get around with that kind of acceleration. And then if you try to follow me down a windy road, you're gonna wreck, and I'm not. So
Yeah, man.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not gonna pay 120 to $150,000 for a 993 when I can buy a brand new one for like 200. That's like at that point,
Yeah.
I just buy a brand new one. If I can afford to spend that much money on a car, I'll just buy a brand new one.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't knock it, buddy.
Like fuck that.
Yeah.
I might as well get this new shit. Oh
Mm-hmm. So I actually brought these because I wanted to show you and the listeners.
Lord, what we got? What we got?
Yeah. So I've been hunting these down
Oh,
for quite some
you
time.
bought them shits on Amazon?
No,
Oh, I was,
no, the seller just sent them in an Amazon box.
I was about to say, what the hell?
Yeah, because he didn't have the actual box. So, to the viewers, these are Janowski's. Apologize if you can't see them. But yeah, so these came out in 2016, and I had been searching for them probably since like 2018. Yeah, I could not find a pair. I really could not find a pair. And heck, these aren't even my correct size because I'm actually a 10 and a half in Janowski's. So let me just say this. Shout out to Daniel Wheelrock. He hits me up because I posted that poll about the topic from last week. If you could be a creative director for a brand, what would you choose?
Mhm.
And on one of the answers, it was specifically Nike SB and bring back old SB colorways and models. This happened to be one of them that I chose for that answer. And he hits me up. He asks, "So I got a whole bunch of Janowskis. Should I hold them or should I sell them?" And I'm like, "Well, you saw what happened with SB Dunks, how they just had that crazy resurgence. I'd hold them and just see what happens."
I mean, I don't see why these wouldn't have,
Exactly,
you
because
know.
there was a point where everybody wanted these.
So what's so special about? I thought you already had that one.
Nah, so I have the original 4 florals. These came out like after that run,
Hmm.
and there's like I want to say 2, 3 more that I don't own. I don't necessarily care about owning them, but if I got them, I wouldn't complain.
Ah,
Yeah, it's just I really wanted these because it's like those original 4. Probably the one of the rarest ones is the blue digi floral. Because the only 2 that have ever came back out twice are the black digifloral and the first one, the pink digifloral. But there's slight differences from the first release of the pink digifloral and the second one. There's slight differences.
mm,
These have never came back out, along with the orange digifloral. I want to say. And surprisingly, these are one of the rare ones because it's like either everybody just warm beat them like tremendously, or it's just everybody keeps them. So when he sent me these on eBay, I'm like, dang, like they're a 10, but I have a pair of the corks in a 10, so I'm like, I know I can wear a 10. It's just they suck to break in.
I don't understand. Like, how do they suck so much to break? Especially this is like it's cloth.
It's narrow. Like
Ah,
it's weird how it is. Like it's narrow. So the trick I use is I put them in the microwave for 30-second increments. You can do 45, but you got to really watch them because of the glue.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's like once you like take them out, you put your foot in it and just wear them for like a few minutes just to kind of like expand everything.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's why they suck so much to break in. But
Shit, you ain't gotta do that here, niggas. Well, it ain't hot no more. But I was gonna say,
yeah,
shit, during the middle of the summer, all you gotta do is put that bitch on and step outside for about 15 minutes.
yeah, but it's like I really wanted them just because it's like, hey, I really like that print. Like everybody knows I love floral print, but especially like cherry blossom. Kind of reminds me of spot I went to in Japan. Uh, the cherry blossoms were just starting to go away,
Mm,
and like just that print reminds me of it. So I really wanted them, so I had to make the sacrifice with the sizing.
this nigga said
And
make the
great,
sacrifice.
hey, look,
Get your
they're
ass
gonna
out of here.
suck to wear. But crazy enough, too, like I got them for like $100, and they probably only been worn like 2-3 times.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, so I basically paid retail for uh lightly worn shoe.
You can't go wrong with
Well,
that.
because hey, there's a hoe selling a pair on Go. They are a 10.5. No box, no laces. That nigga wants 250.
For a shoe with no laces?
Exact and no box.
Are you tripping, bro?
Nigga, like I tried to offer the
I,
dude
I
180 for
I understand without the box, but depending on the shoe,
him. Mm-hmm.
I can understand without the box.
Mm-hmm.
But no laces?
Exactly.
Like, come on,
Like
dog.
everything else on the shoe checks out, but it's like, bro, like I'm not paying that much. Like I try to offer him 150, 180.
But see, that's the thing, though. It's like with certain sneakers, it's just like the laces are like important because you can't just go out and buy
Exactly.
the laces that come in the shoe. It's like
Exactly.
it's not the same thing.
Like even with these, like I have a pair out of the newer series of Janowski's. I'm gonna swap those laces into these because they look better.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, like I at least want the laces, like. So hey, look, to dude on Go, you a hoe. I'll forever say that, and I've never been so mad, like mad at a nigga. I don't
Like,
even know.
man, I give you 180 for them. Nah, nigga, they don't have no laces or no box. What you mean? Nah, like you better shut the fuck up and take this money.
Exactly.
Like,
So,
no
hey,
damn.
look, they gonna be sitting on there for quite a long time because heck, I was probably the only one that even offered something
There was you said this was on what now?
on Go.
Oh God. See, I won't buy anything on Goop.
Really?
I can't, man. I've had too many conversations with people on there that made me want to punch babies afterwards, and I was just like, you know
Oh,
what?
what, like trying to do offers and all that?
Yeah. I'm like,
Mm.
what the fuck are y'all on here? Like,
Well,
what are y'all
even like
smoking
that
crack?
that other one, Trade Block. Like, what turned me off of that one was a couple cats in my size 10 group. They be trading on there from time to time, but just seeing some of them outrageous trades, like, bro, what?
Yeah, they be on some other
Like,
shit.
like literally, Cat had some Travis Scott. Um,
I remember I was on Trade Block one time, and this dude had some OG Travis Scott highs, and them
mm,
things were beat, right?
oh yeah, and he was
And
asking
he
for
he
like
was just
crazy stuff.
yeah, he was just like, I'm only doing like minimum 4-for-1 trades.
Well, even then,
And it's gotta in his words, it's gotta be heat 4-for-1 trades. Like
but
no
you got a
no
beat sneaker
right.
like
He
crazy.
said
I
it's
think it
gotta be
was like
4 pairs of heat,
some
no
one of the
bricks.
Travis Scott lows that this cat had on there, and dude offers him like 4 Panda Dunks. Now at the time, the resale was crazy on Panda
Oh, I
Dunks,
was
but it's
about to
like
be like, huh?
now here's the thing. It's like if I was getting them just to sell the shoes,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been better off just selling the Travis Scott. Like,
Mm, well, how high were the dunks going for
I
at that
think
time?
I think they were at like 250, 300.
Oh no, I thought you was talking about when they was going for like four.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Oh yeah, because if
shit.
they were going for like yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. It's just I'm gonna just go buy me another pair of Travis Scotts. Like that.
What lows were they?
I want to say they were the fragments.
Oh no, the fragments were going. I know at the peak of their game, they were going for like close to two.
Yeah, so it's like at that point I'm like, I'm not taking that, buddy.
Shit, I remember when I got my fragment lows, I almost sold mine. I was just like, shit. I'm like, these motherfuckers going
Oh
for this
yeah,
amount of
and
money. I
then
might sell
you
these
know,
bitches.
while we're on sneakers, did you hear about the whole Nike Refurbished situation? And let me pull it up because ATAF pointed out.
I'll just say, what did they start? They stop doing it.
So I guess they just started, or they're doing it online now.
Oh,
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about it? Like Nike, like actual Nike selling refurbished sneakers.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really against it,
I mean, it
but
does
at the
like
same time, it's
what's
like,
the?
how refurbished are we talking?
I mean, what the fuck do you mean? How many of these goddamn resale stores do you see around here selling used shit?
Oh yeah, I
So it's
agree.
just like, what?
Nah, but it's like
It's like,
because
so
I
what?
told you that's why I won't go to Wayne's Closet because they tried to sell a beat Sean Weatherspoon for like 700. I'm like, bro,
Nah, I mean that's anywhere. That's
nah.
why. Did you see fucking Ivan's video? His workout video.
Oh
That
yeah.
motherfucker was working out in a
Uh,
pair of Sean's. I
oh
was like,
yeah.
damn, he don't give a fuck.
Well, he said he doesn't. So.
Well, yeah, Ivan, he really
Oh
don't. Like
yeah.
he wear his shoes to do anything. He
Exactly.
don't be
Hey, I
caring about.
respect it at the end of
Hey,
the
you
day.
do your
You
thing.
paid
Do your
for 'em.
thing, homie.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Hey, shout out to
yeah,
him.
that's like
Yeah, but
I wouldn't work out in no damn Sean's. They not comfortable enough for me to work out in. Well, if I'm lifting and doing stuff that he was doing,
yeah,
maybe
like if you're
I would.
stationary,
Right,
yeah.
I wouldn't go running in them
Oh
motherfuckers.
nah, because my boys be getting mad at me when I be like walking on the treadmill in the casino dogs, but I be doing it just to troll.
Oh, you one of them niggas.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say shit because I do it too. When I go to
It's
lift,
just, I
oh,
just
and I be fucking lifting. I got on
it's like
Travis's or fuck
you're like,
shattered
man, what you
backboards. Oh, I be
doing?
wearing all kinds of heat to the gym just to
Mm.
wear it. Just why the fuck not? Like I'm not gonna be doing
You
nothing with my
be you
feet.
be getting cast like, man, what you doing with those on?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just like, what you mean, dog? It's chest day. Like
mm-hmm.
it ain't nothing happening to my feet.
No, because I started wearing a couple of the nice shoes to work, and they were looking at me like, man, why you got them on? And I'm like, man, I'm about to get some curb feelers for these things, bro. But then I told him, like, I look at it like this: if you step on my shoes, you too close to me to begin with. Like, you're too close.
You gonna do the Dylon on them and try to choke them out, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You too close, man. You too close.
No, but like I look at so I had a thought the other day because of course, you still have that, rep versus real
Oh
sneakers.
God,
And it's like
that shit is.
I'm getting to a point like, bro,
They need to go
leave
ahead
it
and kill
be.
that because the fucking reps nowadays are just as good, if not better.
Well,
It's just
here's the
like
thing. I'll
you
be looking at cats talk
niggas ain't winning that battle no more.
I'll be looking at cats defend either side, and my first thought is A, you're pocket watching. B, mind your own business. C, for one, on the repping, if you're trying to pass them off as real, bro, like, why are you lying? Like,
Why the
that's
fuck
my
you
only thing.
lying? Nah,
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, for like I've said before, I don't care, man. It's just
Exactly.
like
I'm like, bro, if you want
you
to
do
do,
what you want to
because
do,
hey,
man.
truth be told, Trollmageddon, for example, he showed a pair of some red blue lobsters, and I'm like, I mean, to be fair, that shoe came out when?
2010.
So chances
I think it was
are,
2010, something like that.
so it's like I see stuff like that, like older stuff. I'm all for if you buy a red because chances are, if you try to buy a new one, it might start cracking on your
Mhm.
first wear.
Especially if it ain't never been worn.
Exactly. So I'm like,
I'm
bro,
like,
like,
cause my blue lobsters are still in great shape, but mine, I wear mine, so it's like
exactly. So it's
they
like,
ain't
how am
falling
I going to
apart.
knock somebody for buying a replica version of a sneaker that has never came out again
Either or something that's never come out again,
or never came out?
or something that or that,
Mm-hmm.
or something that is out, but it's like let's see, some okay, we could we talking about Travis's, something like a Travis Scott. It's like if you a kid out here and you want a pair of those shoes and you can't fucking afford to pay $1,500 for a goddamn shoe,
Mm-hmm.
then
Go get the red version.
get you a rep.
I'm all for it.
It's like you can find the top quality
Well,
shit for about
especially with like
150
kids
bucks.
too, like they're still
Do it.
growing. Like, why wouldn't you get them a wrap? Like, they're just gonna grow right out of it, and then you can go get the same exact sneaker at a bigger size.
That, and I mean, even if you are grown like a high school kid, like my foot didn't grow in high school,
Oh
but
yeah.
my foot stopped growing in eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
I had to grow into my feet. So it was like, I started wearing a 10 and a half like towards the end of my eighth grade year. So through high school, I mean, if shit back then, if you saw reps back then, them motherfuckers was like super phony.
Oh yeah.
It's just like you could tell they was fake from across the
Oh
street.
yeah. The fugazos,
No,
man.
super fake. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if they would have had the shit that they have now out back then, I'm pretty sure every fucking body
Oh
would have
yeah.
been
Reps
wearing
would
them.
be way more acceptable.
They would have been everywhere because
Well,
I mean,
honestly though, like even for them not to be as acceptable now, it's weird to me because, like I said,
it
I'm going off of the why do you care
it's
so
only
much what everybody else is doing?
it's only not acceptable now because of
Media, social
well,
media,
social media, but it's like
resellers.
our generation, like the us old head niggas, we don't. I mean, for us, it wasn't an option because we couldn't like the fake shit that was out when we were buying shoes was like you weren't gonna wear that trash, like it was terrible.
Oh yeah,
But
you were getting clowned.
yeah, you would get fucking thrown under the bus quick, and you wouldn't even have to point it out. Like niggas will point it out for you. Like how everybody is all like, oh, people don't want to wear rips because they're scared they're gonna get called out. In my day, you would get called
Oh
out because
yeah,
it was super fucking
oh
obvious that they
yeah.
were fake.
Like even now,
So
like I
yeah,
get asked from time to time, like from homies that I know wear res. Like, man, can you tell if they're fake or not? I'm like, for one, I don't really care, bro. That's your money. You spend it how you want. But B, it's like, no, I can't tell.
but see that this was also part of the game too. Uh, in high school, towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
there was a certain era where fakes, like people were wearing fakes,
Mm-hmm.
and it was acceptable. And here's why: the colorways.
Oh yeah.
Like nowadays, you'll see cats wearing a shoe in a colorway that's never come out before, and they instantly like, "Oh, that nigga got fake shit on," and start clowning. In my day, people would like give you props on that. They'd be like, "Yo, those are fire. I ain't never seen them in that color before." And there was every they customs. Motherfuckers would be fake as
Yeah.
shit, but they customs. And it's like in that era towards the end of my high school in the mid 2000s. I mean, fuck, look at that one picture that's floating around of Drake when he got the fake Jordan 5s on, the purple
Mm-hmm.
ones. It's just like that was normal back then for you to wear shit like that. It was a off color that you'd never seen before,
Mm-hmm.
and everything about the shoe was the way it was supposed to be, but that colorway didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you saw rappers doing it, you seen it in movies, magazines. It was because back then, the internet was the internet, but it wasn't like it is now. Like we actually had magazines and TV commercials and all of that shit for all of y'all young cats out there that don't know about that. And you used to see it, and now, because like you said, of social media and the people that are on it, uh resellers, all these, they 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 make wearing like reps a bad thing. But if you look at it, it's just like, bro, if you put that shoe on your foot, no one is gonna know that it's a rep.
Exactly. Like you're either gonna
You're
have
not gonna know that it's a
like,
rep.
bro, they've gotten so, like we said, 98 percenters. They've
Right. Those
gotten so
98
good.
they're so good
Like
now it doesn't
heck,
even matter.
I was talking with somebody about that video we recorded where we had them two Bread
Oh
11s,
yeah, right.
and I told him like, bro, even you had a tough time actually like being able to tell
Yeah.
because there were like only two distinct differences, and it was mainly the stitching and just the fact that the Jordan symbol was off by like maybe a centimeter.
Right. And it's just like I had my authentic pair next to it, and we're looking, it's like, dude, there really is not like
Exactly.
at like, if we're talking about the casual
Oh,
person,
which
or if
by
you
the
be on
way,
your feet,
I don't have those anymore. I actually donated them.
it's just like,
So,
for the right person, or not even the right person, but just like you wearing them on your feet, no one is going to be able to tell.
oh
No one
yeah,
is going to know anything.
oh yeah.
And I mean, that's how all of them are
That's
now.
why
So
I've
it's like,
kind of
it
just gotten
doesn't
to a
matter.
point like, I don't really care. Like heck, even I remember Warren made a point on Sneak This, like, should SneakerCon allow people to sell reps as long as they're telling people they're reps?
Why not?
Exactly. I'm kind of just like,
I
I
mean,
mean, if
for
you
real,
get
most of them niggas is probably selling them anyway.
exactly,
So it's just like,
if
at
we're
least
keeping it a
at least
buck,
right, at least they gonna tell you this a rip now. It's like
exactly.
that. I bet you half of those motherfuckers in there with them tables, probably like 60% of that table is probably rips.
Oh yeah, and crazy part is some of them might not even know themselves. Like,
Exactly. It's just like that nowadays. The reps are so good. Those 98 percenters are out there, bro, and it's just
mm-hmm,
like no one is gonna know that they're not.
exactly. Hey, for all you know, out of your newer shoe, you could have one and not even know right now.
Oh, yeah, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that probably one of my Jordans, or a couple of my Jordans, are probably rips.
Exactly.
I'm just like, because
You
it's like
just
you
can't
just don't
tell
know.
unless you're getting it from Nike. But even I'm starting to question that now.
Oh yeah, I mean, you talking about StockX, Nike,
hmm
all of these cats being caught up. Oh,
The
this
only
fake.
ones I will say they have not gotten to yet is Asics.
There's a lot of shoes that aren't ripped.
Yeah, like Asics, and there's a still some New Balances. They just can't get down properly.
They ain't ripping LeBrons, not anymore.
Oh, of course not.
They were
No, well, yeah, but
like
no,
10 years ago.
nobody cares about LeBron's now.
Well, I mean, they were ripping them 10 years ago, but the quality on them was
Oh
trash.
yeah.
Then they same thing with KDs. They was ripping KDs. They ain't ripping this. Ain't nobody ripping no AIs, no Reeboks. Period. Like they ain't no, and they ain't got
hmm
no rip AIs.
Oh yeah. So
Now I will say that there's starting to become a rep like community with Kobe's.
really? Oh yeah.
Yes,
Actually, you're right. I have seen a couple,
the
but I've
Kobe
seen a lot.
Kobe's are being ripped heavy
I
right
have
now.
seen a lot of cats have been getting like the unreleased PEs though.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I can't knock that, bro,
I
because
mean,
we've been saying we want those to
well,
come
yeah.
out.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would buy a fucking rip of an unreleased
Oh yeah,
piece.
there's a couple.
Some of them Devin Booker
Yeah,
PEs, them shits are
DeMar
fire, bro. And
DeRozan's,
I'm just
like,
like, I
bro.
would buy those.
Oh yeah, I still want that Miami Vice DeMar DeRozan one he's
Yeah.
got. Like, I'm still mad they won't come out with it.
Shit, I'm still fucking on that damn Travis Scott 4, that purple one.
Yep. Oh yeah, me, you, and Pop had a conversation
I'm
about
like, I
that.
would buy a rip of that shoe because I'm never gonna be able to get it.
Yeah, like heck, I've seen a couple Red Lobster wraps that I'm like, I mean, it looks good.
Shit, I didn't seen a few rips of them damn Eminem Carhartt 4s, and
Mm-hmm.
them motherfuckers is spot on. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, I would buy those. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm
All
not
right.
paying twenty
One
thousand
one I
dollars for
know
that.
one I know you want. The Manila 4.
I would buy a rep of that.
Yeah, I
One
know
hundred percent.
you wanted to.
Yeah,
Like,
man. That's that. I got a rep, man. I got a rep. That's from the motherland.
oh
I
yeah,
got
of
a rep.
course, of course.
So I would definitely get one of those. And I love fours.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm just like, I would get a rep of that.
yeah. Hey, that's why I'm like to the point, like, bro, if you want to buy reps, I don't
But
care.
they started with the Kobe, they started repping the Grinches.
Oh yeah,
And I mean, they've come out with several different versions of those. And the ones that they're doing now, I mean, dog, like
oh yeah. You can't
you
tell.
can't tell. Like it's like you are you gonna pay $600 for this shit on StockX, or you just gonna pay was it like a buck 25 for one that looks exactly the fucking same? I'm like, I mean, they got this dude out here. My man Shad is a rep for him.
Mm,
Well, I won't say Shad's a rep. Shout out to my man Shad. Shad actually did some reviews in our group where he got a pair of Grinches from this dude named Kiku.
mm,
And I mean they were spot on.
mm-hmm.
And I was just like, damn,
Oh
I
yeah,
was
I
like, it's
have thought
crazy.
about getting like a pair of Sakai waffles and just comparing.
I don't know what he did with
Because
that one,
I
but
know
he
that'd be a
did have
pretty
a pair.
tough shoe to like replicate. So like, I just want to get a
They
pair.
actually do have I can't remember what the dude's name is, but one of my homies back on the East Coast was telling me about it that he does rips of Sakai's, and it's like true 98% type shit.
Interesting.
And I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, that's crazy. They repping Sakai's too. He's like, oh yeah. He was just like, when you got the he was just like, basically, if you know the right people, they can basically make you anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is take them a production shoe and be like, I want you to make this. And they can literally deconstruct it and replicate everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they can make you whatever you want.
Oh yeah, but on top of that, now that you got things like 3D printers and all that, of course they'd be able to do it.
What do you mean? They do it by hand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they
I
did.
get
They
that.
literally make the shoe like they would make it for
I
production.
I get that, but I'm saying like when you got so much technology now, of course, like you can get things like almost 100% now.
Well, yeah, but it's like with that industry, they still make it by
Oh
hand.
yeah, because
So
you got to stitch things.
there's
Yeah.
always gonna be fuck ups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's why they was talking about the whole rep real thing. 98 percenters.
Or basically just B grades. If we're
No, it's basically retail.
exactly.
Because how many fucking pairs of Jordans have you seen in the last year that the quality control is absolute dog shit?
Yep, exact
And
B
it's like the
grades.
98 percenters actually look better than the damn retail shit half the time now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, what are we talking about? You can't say quality because the 98 percenter has the quality, the
Mm-hmm.
same materials, and it's done better.
Yeah.
So I mean, that
Hey,
argument is
it
that
is what it
argument. Yeah,
is.
they need to just go ahead and kill
Oh
that.
yeah. So I know you're still mad. It said your girl got robbed apparently.
Ooh.
Valentina.
Yeah, man, come on,
So let
dog.
me ask you
Like,
this. Let me start off by asking this.
well, she broke her hand. I think it
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
like the first round.
yeah.
Yeah,
So let me ask you this. Do you think she won?
yeah. I gave her 3 rounds to 2.
So I finally got to watch the fight.
No, what'd you think? You didn't think she did enough to win?
I actually agree with the draw. But here's my problem. I don't agree with that 10-8 that dude gave her. I thought that was the most BS thing, like, within that entire fight. Because problem is, I'm a firm believer in you either have to knock out, well, you either have to finish the champ, or you got to make it so decisive, like Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya. Strickland made it decisive. Like, yeah, I won this fight.
Yeah, Strickland beat his ass.
Yes.
Is
Bro,
Israel let me down? You
no,
let me down, bro. You let me
hey,
down.
look, you let the whole hood down.
I'm just like, I thought he was gonna beat Sean Strickland
Problem
easy.
is, and let's touch on their fight real quick. Problem is, I feel like part of it was championship fatigue. Because it's like when you're fighting those higher level dudes practically every fight, you're gonna get to a point like it's just gonna weigh on you now.
What are you talking about?
For certain fighters, I'm saying,
Oh,
not for everybody.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
because it never happened with GSP. It never did. John Jones, it's never happened with. But I mean, for certain guys, some of them they can't handle that pressure all the time. So I think that's partially what it was. I could be 100% wrong. But also, once I remembered that Strickland was training with the A, I'm like, I mean, that's the one guy that knows Izzy inside and
I
out.
mean, but it's not even that he did anything crazy. He just did everything
You're
at
supposed to
the
do.
right time.
Exactly. And on top of that,
I
hey,
mean,
shout out to Strickland's coach, too. That was perfect coaching.
yo, very good coaching.
Yes.
It's like he basically beat Israel Adesanya with a jab and a 1-2.
Exactly.
Like, how do you beat somebody that's that level of striker with such a simple strategy? And I was
Exactly.
just like the whole fight. I'm like, come on, Izzy, like this is your world. It's like, why are you like falling for this shit? Like, you should be
Exactly.
able to counter this, but
Well, even
it just didn't seem like he was there mentally.
well, even he had said too, like Strickland's coach was literally calling out everything he was about to do right as it was happening,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that's what was messing him up because he couldn't figure out how to like kind of like switch things up at the right times. But it's like I will say, if they do fight again, like right away,
He don't want to.
Izzy doesn't.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Izzy, well, Sean Strickland said that he wanted to give him the rematch, but he said that he doesn't want it.
Mm,
And I'm just like, I think he might change his mind though.
yeah, probably. Well, regardless, if they do fight again, I think that was probably a wake up call for Izzy. Like, yeah, I got to switch some things up.
Yeah,
It better be because if it's not, he ain't winning the belt back. Because it was
yeah.
already very impressive that he got it back from Pereira. Now he's got to try to do it again.
I mean, that would be dope if he could.
Oh yeah, because
I
at
mean,
that point it's like undeniable now. He is the middleweight goat if he does it twice in
right?
a
It's just
row.
like you lost your belt and then got it back in the rematch twice. Like,
Exactly. And on top of that, that
I,
first run he had with the belt was already impressive. But I tell you what, if Jared Cannonier has to fight Strickland, oh god, yeah, I'm picking Jared all the
you think
way.
so?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think that's gonna be a tough fight
oh
for
yeah.
Strickland because
I mean, the first one was already tough.
Jared has the movement. Like
Exactly. On top of that, he's just a different beast, bro.
yeah,
Like,
he's got that movement, that inside
hmm
style, and it's like when he gets close enough, like if he hits you, like
oh yeah, you're going
yeah,
down. Like,
he can drop you quick. So
yeah.
it's
So
tough.
going back to Grasso Shevchenko, my problem with it was I just didn't feel like either or made it decisive enough to show that they won. Now, if they would have said Valentino won, I would not have had a problem with it. And I could say that for Grasso too, because when Grasso dropped her, like, you
That
know,
was yeah. I mean, that was a
Shevchenko did a good
moment.
job recovering from it, but it's just the problem with it was that fight was probably the highest level in that division we've seen in a long time. Like somebody is finally caught up with Shevchenko.
Yeah, I would agree with
So
that.
it's like it that was probably the one time and keep in mind, I say this all the time. I can only say so much because I've never trained in a combat sport. I've just studied it enough to be able to have a decent opinion. That fight was probably the hardest fight I've ever tried to score myself because I just really was not sure at certain moments.
I think Valentina did enough to win,
Okay.
but
And, let me pull up the scorecards
I
actually.
do agree with you that for a championship fight, it was like neither one of them really made it that decisive. Like
Exactly.
it was one of those things where it was just like it really could have gone either way, but I thought that Valentina did enough to win.
Exactly.
And I mean, they're gonna. I mean, even if Valentina would have won, they still would have probably ended up fighting again
Mm-hmm.
because they would have been 1-1 now. So it's like
Exactly.
they would have had to fight again anyway. So
And
it, either way, it's like it
so
was gonna be a
just the
rematch.
scorecards. We'll start off with Camille. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his first name.
Jesus.
Uh, you know, Junchiro Camille. So he had first round 9-10 Shevchenko, second round 10-9 Grosso, obviously the knockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, third round 9-10 Shevchenko, fourth round 10-9 Grosso, and fifth round 10-9 Grosso. Sal Diamato, whose scorecard I actually agreed with the most. 9-10 Shevchenko, 10-9 in the second round, Grosso, obviously. 9-10 Shevchenko in the third. Fourth round, 9-10 Shevchenko. Fifth round, 10-9 Grosso. But that card still would have had Shevchenko edging her out.
Exactly. That's
Yeah, so
why I
that was the
said that.
one card I actually,
That's why I said she
yeah.
did. I think she
And
did
that's
enough to
why I
win.
say if they would
Three
have said
rounds of two.
Shevchenko won, I would not have had a problem with
I thought she did. I thought she did
it.
three. Got
Yeah.
3 rounds of
So
two.
Mike Bill, who had the most questionable one, first round 10-9 Shevchenko, second round 10-9 Grosso, third round 10-9 Shevchenko, fourth round 10-9 Shevchenko, fifth round 10-8 Grosso. Where did you get that 8 from? That's what I need to know. Because even if you would have did a 9-9, I would have been okay with it.
Honestly, if you're gonna give any round a 10-8 round, it should have been the second.
Yes, exactly.
But even still, I don't think that it warranted a 10-8.
Exactly. Because the
Ten
problem is
nine, yes,
that
fine, but
fifth round,
10-8, nah.
I say I would have been okay with a 9-9 because when it started, Shevchenko was doing everything she needed to do. It's just the problem when it went to the ground, that's when it was all Grosso.
Well, yeah, but she only had one hand. It's like, what was she
Exactly.
supposed to do?
But even then, though, if you would have said 9-9 in the fifth, I would have not have argued with it
Right.
because it was pretty even. First half was Shevchenko, second half was Grosso. It would
Mm-hmm.
have made more sense than the 10-8. So that's why I say I'm not fully mad at the tie because, yeah, it looked pretty even for the most part, but it's even more impressive that Shevchenko was fighting with one hand the entire fight.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, that's why I kind of had to feel we both were kind of gonna have like valid points. Like, you know, if we had to pick anybody that won, it probably would have been Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not fully mad at the tie.
I mean, I'm not fully mad at it because, like I said, they were going to fight again regardless. If
Exactly.
Shevchenko won, they were going to fight again.
Exactly.
So I'm like, whatever, but I still think Shevchenko won.
Yeah.
I think she
I
did
will
enough to
say
win.
this though. That rematch needs to be booked immediately after Shevchenko's hand is healed. Grasso should not fight anybody until that happens.
Depends on how bad that handbrake
That is
is.
very
If
true.
she has to have surgery on it,
Oh
like she
yeah,
might be out for a while. But if
exactly.
it's just a regular,
Like fracture,
yeah,
clean
just a
break.
regular, handbrake, and she's gonna be in a cast for like 4 weeks,
Yeah.
then that yeah, then we could just go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
do the rematch. But if it's gonna require some surgery or something, and she's gonna be out like for extended period of time, I mean, she could probably get a fight in.
Yeah. Who's next in line now?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, actually, because I thought it would have been Tatiana,
Anna,
but I
right?
think Tatiana moved back to strawweight.
Did she?
I think so because her last fight was in strawweight.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here, because The problem is with that division is they were waiting for somebody to even catch up to Valentina.
They thought it was that one chick,
Which one?
Santos,
Oh yeah.
because that was a good fight
Oh
too.
yeah.
That
That's
was a
the
close
one
one.
fight in Shevchenko's career I truly think she might have lost. That's the one fight. Because I will argue down to the day I die. She did not lose to Amanda that second time.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. And it's crazy to me that like Amanda did not want that third.
She said she would have fought her a third time,
Nah, she
but
was ducking
but
her.
what's his name?
Dana.
Shevchenko. She didn't want to move up yet
Oh, okay. So
because
she was trying to build back
yeah,
up
she was
to
trying to build her resume at 25 because they offered her the rematch at 35. Uh, I want to say it was after she first won the belt at 25. They were saying something about her fighting Amanda for the third time, but she was like she wanted to fight in her division and kind of build her resume up first.
okay. So number 2 is Aaron Blanchfield.
Oh Jesus,
Number 3 is Manon Farrow, who I'd actually pick her because she just beat Rose.
Rose,
Actually,
yeah,
yeah. Number 4 is Tyler Santos. Number 5 is Caitlin Chohagian. No, we don't need to do that again.
yeah. I'm about to say that she already got a shot.
Yeah. Number 6, Jessica Andrade. She's had a shot.
She's had many.
Lauren Murphy is number 7. No, we're not doing
This is at 25.
that. Number 8
Oh
is
yeah,
Mate.
she fought.
Yeah,
Uh,
Shevchenko.
yeah,
Mm,
Shevchenko beat her ass.
exactly.
Like,
Number 8 is Macy Barber. If Macy Barber was higher, that would probably be the one I'd be like, okay, because she's never fought for the belt.
yeah, Macy
But she
is,
needs to be higher.
yeah.
Number 9, Jennifer Maya. She's fought for the belt.
Hmm.
Number 10, Amanda Heba. She needs to be higher. Number 11, Vivian Ajero. Uh, Arajal. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not. That's number 11. And then number 12 is Tracy Cortez. Yeah, she's too low. And also, she needs a little more time.
I'm like, when was the last time she fought?
Just recently.
Oh yeah, she did fight
Hmm.
like not too long ago.
Yeah, so it's
But she
like,
doesn't fight a lot though.
yeah.
She
Well,
goes,
she took a year off. Yeah.
yeah, she was out with the picture for a minute.
Yeah. So I'd really say the only one I could justify getting that shot is Manon Farrow.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
probably because she just beat Rose, and Rose was
Hmm.
like at the top at first. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, she probably should get the next one.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like it really just depends.
And
Uh,
that's the straw weight though, right?
hmm I
So
will say though, like I wouldn't mind. Or no, that's flyweight. My bad.
so she moved up then
Who?
for real.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
hmm I wouldn't mind if John Wayne Lee went up and they did a super fight.
Well, her and Shevchenko.
Well, her and Grasso.
Oh yeah,
I'm not package got the Uh,
that'd be interesting.
yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
I think she would bulldog her ass though.
Oh, you think uh Whaley would?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. Like her wrestle like Grosso's wrestling isn't bad, but it's just like
it's
Whaley is pretty strong for
right.
that
Exactly.
division.
I'm
Like it's
just like,
crazy too.
imagine Whaley fighting 10 pounds heavier.
Hmm.
It's just like she would probably be just as fast, just as strong, and I mean maybe even stronger.
Oh yeah.
As I don't know, man. I don't see her having a problem with nobody at
Yeah.
25. Like I think she would be just fine at
Oh yeah.
25.
Like I'd almost say she might would have to go up to 35 and even try. Or
I
like
mean,
that's where she actually might get tested because everybody's just bigger than her.
hmm and I mean Wei Lee. I mean, you got to think about it. Most of the people that are fighting at 25 anyway, they were at 15 at one point.
Exactly. And they just moved up because it was better for
I
them.
think Shevchenko was the only one that came down.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
everybody else came up.
Well yeah, because you said 20 like 125 is her natural weight cut.
Well, yeah, she said that when she was fighting in kickboxing, that she fought at 125.
Yeah.
So
Like realistically, I feel like Tatiana, like she should have stayed at 25 because she was like the biggest threat to everybody.
she was the biggest threat at 15. I
Exactly.
mean, when she was fighting
Oh
regularly,
yeah, I
like she
mean,
was just
oh yeah, they call it
ragdolling
woman
everybody.
Khabib basically.
Oh, yeah, I mean, she
Yeah.
was out there ragdolling. So, I mean, I don't think she's gonna have a problem with that at
So
25 or 15,
the
really.
the main discussion I did want to ask. So obviously, for the listeners that may not know, you've actually fought like amateur
Hmm.
MMA. So how do you feel about scoring?
As far as what?
Like, do you feel there's a problem with it in terms of like just judges don't really know what to look for every once in a while? Or
Yeah,
like don't
yeah,
make it clear
yeah.
like what they
Sometimes.
need to see?
I mean, I look at it like this, man. It's a fucking fight. At the end of the day, it's a fight.
Yes.
Who did the most damage?
Or who got
You know,
finished?
it's just
Like
like, right, who got, like, don't sit there, like, say me and you are fighting.
mm-hmm.
At the end of the fight, one of your eyes is swollen closed, blood everywhere, you know, but they give you the win. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, huh? Like,
Well that's
it's just like,
that's
look
what
at
I
this guy.
say.
Like,
Well,
look at
the one that comes to mind is TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen. I'm like, bro, Dillashaw could barely even
well,
stand.
yeah, because he blew his knee out in the
But
first
even
round.
then, like you saw the amount of damage he took. I'm like, bro, Sandhagen won.
That fight was like really close. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
that
it
like
was
they said too.
that was a good one.
Verdict MMA said that is literally the highest scoring fight of all time. Like in terms of like how close it was.
Probably, I
And
mean, yeah.
it's like I look at it from the perspective of like it all came down to control time. I ask everybody that's like into fighting, what do you consider control time? Because if you got me pinned on the cage, but I'm still doing that, you're not controlling me. I'm still able to punch you.
For me, when I think of control time, I think of Khabib.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is control
You
time.
couldn't do
He is
anything.
literally smothering you to death,
Exactly.
beating your ass while doing it. Like,
Exactly.
that
Like
is
you might be
control
able to
time.
get one of those in, but he stops it right
And I
there.
mean that in I'm trying to think of like a good submission guy
Ah man.
that's like, he gets you down and it's like jujitsu all day
I
long.
mean, I'd say Damian Maya in his prime was one.
Yeah, yeah.
In his
Damien is
prime.
prime. Gunnar Nelson when he
Yep.
first came on the scene was like
Mm-hmm.
that. Frank Mir
Yep.
in his prime.
Oh yeah.
Big Nog in his prime.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of guys, but I mean, I'm talking about like right now. I don't really see too many
Oh
people
yeah.
like
You
that right
don't
now.
anymore.
Not like
Problem
that.
is nowadays it's more stand up heavy. Like everybody, like almost everybody is good on feet now. Versus like
Mm,
back in the day, like you were seeing that transition that everybody was starting to be really good on feet.
no. See,
Well, more so
see,
with like
this is what made,
outside of your higher level guys. That's what I'm saying.
well, no, like, in the beginning, you were successful if you were a wrestler.
Uh,
That was
oh
where
yeah,
it was.
because you weren't scared to be on the ground.
If you were a wrestler or a jujitsu guy, that was where you were strong, because most people had no idea. When they think about fighting, they think about stand up.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't think about everything
that's why they
else.
say those are the two best bases.
So it's like, in the early days, it was if you knew how to wrestle, like a high level wrestler, or you
Mm-hmm.
were a high level jujitsu guy, you would be able to win a lot of fights because
Okay.
most people didn't know how to grapple. But nowadays, or okay, the next evolution, then you get into that middle era where Vitor Belfort comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's like, Vitor Belfort is going to be the guy. Why was Vitor Belfort so special? Because he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he got hands.
Yeah.
In that time, it was it was rare for a fighter to be good at two
Oh
things.
yeah.
They were usually only really good at one. But when you had Vitor come on the scene, he was that first guy that was able to be special in two
Oh yeah.
areas,
Well,
on the ground
it's
and
like
on the feet.
I told somebody like if Israel would have fought Anderson in his prime, Israel would have lost.
Yeah,
I think
he would have. Yes.
because Anderson's jujitsu was actually very good, and problem is you just never saw it because nobody tested it.
Yeah,
Unlike
Anderson.
Chow Sonnen, that's the only one that tested it.
Dan Henderson.
Well, yeah,
Dan Henderson was a high level wrestler, and
oh yeah,
he still got
but that
choked
kind
out.
of cancels out like
No, it didn't. He got choked the
well,
fuck out.
yeah, but I'm saying for most guys, it cancels out. Like when you get those,
It depends on the wrestler,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
because you have guys like I said, a Vitor Belfort, who's a
Mm-hmm.
jiu-jitsu guy, black belt, can strike, and then you get into this that those types of fighters were rare in that era, because then you come in from him, and then you get Randy Couture,
Oh
who's not known for his striking, but his wrestling and his clinch work and his dirty boxing is what he's known for.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you come in and you get Tito. Tito was a ground and pound guy. Mark Coleman did it first,
Mm-hmm.
but Tito did it better.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to defend himself in the guard and still beat the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
But then, next further evolution, then you got guys like Chuck Liddell,
Mm-hmm.
where he was a
A
good
kid,
wrestler,
but he was a
but he
kickboxer.
but he used his wrestling to stay on his feet,
Yeah.
and then he would strike.
Yeah.
So it's like you all it's there's all of these different things. You get like BJ Penn. BJ Penn was a good striker,
Oh
but
yeah.
he was
A
good on the ground.
prodigy.
Like
Yep.
he could do both. So it's like the high level guys in coming up through the first years. I mean, most of the elite guys were good at two things. Now the elite guys are good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it became more of, now when you go train, it's like the younger guys coming up in the sport, they don't train in one thing, or
Oh yeah.
one
They train in
they train
multiple.
in mixed martial
Oh yeah.
arts. So now they actually come up being trained in everything, but
Well, because
as
what
it wasn't
I
always
think I
that way.
heard somebody say like Edmund Shabazian like is the first like true MMA practitioner because he's trained in everything. But I thought it was kind of crazy too to hear that because I'm
The first
like they were saying like out of the generation wise, but I'm like I'm pretty sure there's been
Rory
people
McDonald was before him,
exactly
and I mean he was just trained in mixed martial arts.
exactly my point, and people don't realize how good Rory actually was because
I
I
mean,
mean
hell, Carlos Condit was trained in mixed martial arts.
exactly my point. I
And
thought it was crazy too, but I'm like I'll
Carlos
just go
Condit
with
is
it.
older. Carlos Condit's like my generation.
Exactly. Hey, look, like I said, I
He's like
thought it was
my
crazy
age.
too, but I'm like I'll just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, there
Yeah.
was people the coming up training in mixed martial arts that started happening, what, maybe 10 years ago,
Yeah.
like 10, 12 years ago was when it
Mm-hmm.
was. It's like it's not new.
Oh yeah.
Edmund Shabazian didn't even really start training until what, you saw it when Ronda was in her prime, 12, 13. At that time,
Yeah.
that nigga Shabazian was like a little kid. It's
Exactly.
like what was he doing back then? I mean, yeah, he was probably training, but I mean,
Yeah, but
he
even
was
then,
he was a
we all
kid.
saw how it worked with Ronda. No hands whatsoever.
Oh my god,
At
man.
one time, she knocked out. But that was the problem with wrestlers too. They knock out one person and think they got hands all of a sudden.
Ronda
Just never evolved.
Ronda didn't. It wasn't her fighting that made her think she was the shit. It was the coach.
That too.
Like Tarverdian used to gas her head up, and it was like, dog, like she is not that nice, bro. Like
I still look at that video of her shadow boxing. I'm like, why are you so crooked?
it's
Like,
like, why is your shoulders moving like
exactly.
this?
It's not supposed to. It's
Yeah, I'm like, you're up here,
like,
you up
bro.
here flailing. It's like, what are you doing? Like
Or nah, what was it when Carter was doing boxing, man? He was doing.
he was doing that to that was more of a not a boxing technique, but it's like something that's supposed to loosen your arms
I
up.
know, but it was just funny though
Yeah,
when the build up for Floyd was happening and he did it. Man.
I'm just like,
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll just look at it. Judging, it's always going to be a conversation. Like, can it be better? I just look at it like, look, bro, human beings, they're trying. They're trying.
what you think about that Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury fight coming up?
It's hard for me to care because I'm not a boxing guy, bro.
I like some boxing. Just
Yeah.
they got that, was it Jermell Charlo versus Canelo coming up? That's gonna be a it's
Like
gonna
I
be
only
all right, I
watch
guess.
boxing with big fights, bro. Other than that, I just don't care. It's too hard for me to follow. Like MMA, I only follow it so much because I got into it when it was really like right as it was starting to get really popular. So it was easier to follow it.
Mm.
Boxing, there's just too much going on, I
It's a
feel.
lot going on. I
Yeah.
follow certain fighters though, and I
Yeah.
mean it's like you.
Now, like, Bud, how he just fought. Like, nah, I actually like that
Yeah,
dude.
I like Terrence. Terrence is
Yeah.
yeah, Bud
It-
Bud is like that.
but
Everybody's like, oh, Errol Spence is gonna win. I'm like, ugh.
ugh.
I'm like, Errol Spence is strong, but Errol Spence likes to fight in a phone booth.
Well, I mean, Bud was just making him silly
I was
too.
just like, Terrence has distance. He's sharp. He's fast, and he got power. So I'm just like, he's got a lot, and he can fight southpaw or
Mm-hmm.
orthodox. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I think he gonna give Errol problems, and he went in there and
Yeah. I mean, the
dominated
last
Errol.
cat Bud fought, like, he was just making him look crazy.
Yeah, they were saying that Bud wanted to move up and he wanted to fight Canelo
Mm.
because Canelo wouldn't come down to fight him, but Bud was like, "Fuck it, I'll move up."
Hey,
And I'm just like,
I'd want to
"Shit,
see it.
hell yeah, I would watch that."
Oh, yeah.
I think Bud would beat Canelo.
Oh, yeah. I think he could too.
I think
Just
he
from
would
the
he
just
would
from
kill
seeing
him.
that one fight, I'm like, I mean, Canelo is older now, so it's like
I mean, Canelo's a great counter puncher, but so is Bud. And
exactly,
Bud is faster. He's stronger. I'm
exactly.
like, I don't know, man. I'm like, he's a little sharper than Canelo.
Yeah.
I mean, Canelo can be sharp when he wants to, but I'm just like, yeah. Like you said, Canelo getting older.
Hmm.
I think Canelo probably has like maybe a good 3 to 5 years left, and then he's gonna be done.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
Because you mean we got 3 to 5 years, so he might get what maybe like another three or four fights left, 5 fights
Mm,
tops. If he fights once a year for the next 5 years, I think that might be a wrap for him.
hey, we'll see. Well, check us out.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all listening. Um, had to talk about some car shit today. I don't know what this guy on with his age gap thing. He need to get over that. Go ahead and get you an older woman. Go ahead and show you a little something, something. Teach you how to be a man. Nah, let me stop.
I mean, I don't know. We know a couple dudes that are with older women, and they still haven't figured that part out yet. So
Facts.
yeah. So hey.